frightening home invasions taken to a whole new level.
Turning into their worst nightmare, a Ring camera in their 5-year-old child's bedroom.
I'm Santa Claus.
Someone took over the monitors and started shouting.
I know exactly who you are, I know what you do, I know where you live, I know who your family is.
This is the home security camera footage from the Browns family who reside in Florida. On December 8, 2019, the speakers of their cameras unexpectedly blared an alarm sound. Shortly after, a voice started hurling hateful comments at them. What was particularly alarming is that the voice mentioned the couple's son, even though he hadn't been in front of the camera at any point that night. This strongly implied that the hacker had been monitoring the family's live feed for a longer duration than just that particular night.
And all of a sudden, we heard the siren.
Until the safety measure was turned against them. Someone was using it to peer into the Browns' private life.
What's going on, my main man Shaq? It's your boy Chance on Knowles. Welcome to the Knowles Cast.
The hacker starts talking directly to the husband and wife about their son.
Wait, so did your child come out black or kind of like light skin? I don't know. What? Nothing.
Who never appears on this 3-minute recording. But Josephine Brown believes the person manipulating their camera was watching for longer than he made known.
But they've been watching us because that's the only way you know I had a son and the only way you know what he looks like.
The Browns suspected it could have been multiple days, during which they had no idea they were being observed. Unfortunately, they couldn't determine the exact duration before the hacker utilized the speaker to torment them.
Viewing from their security camera over and over again.
Wait, does your child look like an Oreo?
It's very hurtful because, my son is biracial and the comments he made was really hurtful.
Fed up with the hateful invasion of privacy?
Can you bring a web browser up on your phone and then type in the website that I tell you?
The hateful speech continued for almost 3 minutes until the Browns finally removed the batteries from the cameras. Since that unsettling incident, the Browns family completely ceased using any type of home security camera system.
No. Why? I'll leave you and your family alone. Or I could do this. I like your dog.
The camera batteries are ripped out.
Hey! Go to Knowles.
The Browns called Ring immediately. The company did not respond to my requests, but did tell the family, quote, the email address and password of one of your external accounts was exposed in a data breach. Ring believes someone used that information to gain access into their account.
In Staten Island, a young man named Lamar was sitting in his kitchen when he suddenly heard a mysterious voice coming from his Ring camera.
Hello? I see you.
What?
I see you. How you doing? How's your day?
I'm good.
What's your name?
Lamar.
What up, Lamar? How's your day?
It's good.
Do you play any games?
He attempted to move to different rooms, hoping to escape the unsettling sound, but his efforts proved futile. Despite the fear that arose in that distressing situation, Lamar managed to stay calm throughout the ordeal.
Like video games?
Yeah, I play some video games.
Do you play Minecraft?
Of course, he doesn't play Minecraft.
I don't know. Do you play CSGO?
What do you play?
Do you play CSGO?
Fiesta?
CSGO.
What's it called?
CSGO.
What is that? Hey, you. Call out.
Here is the security camera footage of the Kristalik family. The camera is positioned on the kitchen counter, capturing the scene as the youngest child sits on the couch in the background, engrossed in watching TV. Suddenly, a voice starts speaking through the camera speaker. The girl either doesn't hear the voice or chooses not to acknowledge it.
What you watching? Hey, what show is that? I've seen that show before. What season you on? Hello?
At that moment, her father, Adam, enters the room, completely unaware that he is being observed. The voice persists, and Adam's attention shifts towards the TV, thinking the sound is coming from there. However, as he realizes it's not originating from the TV, he takes out his phone and recalls that it could be the Ring camera causing the disturbance.
Hello? What are you eating? You hungry?
What?
The voice attempts to mimic a robotic text-to-speech tone, but Adam recognizes that his account has been hacked. He promptly disables the camera and contacts Ring, the company behind the camera. Ring informs him that an unidentified phone had logged into his account. Although they attempted to trace the source, their efforts were unsuccessful. Essentially, they conveyed to Adam that there was little they could do other than advising him to change his password and enable two-factor authentication.
Hello?
Powering off.
What was that?
Hello. This is Ring.
Who is this? Who is this?
Ashley LeMay, a mother of 3, wanted some peace of mind, so she decided to install a Ring security camera in her daughter's bedroom. In December 2019, one of her daughters, Alyssa, heard a voice coming from the room and entered, thinking it was one of her sisters. However, she soon realized that nobody was there.
Who is that?
I'm your best friend.
As 8-year-old Alyssa LeMay stood in her room, a terrifying voice spoke to her.
I'm Santa Claus. Don't you want to be my best friend?
The horrifying sound coming from this Ring security camera installed in the child's bedroom.
The voice kept speaking to Alyssa, using inappropriate language repeatedly. Alyssa left the room and shouted, believing it was a family member playing a prank, but she received no response. Confused, she returned to her room. The voice continued to try and persuade her to misbehave. Feeling scared and still uncertain about the source of the voice, Alyssa called out for her parents.
For 5 minutes, the voice taunting the young girl, playing strange music, even instructing her to destroy her room.
You can mess up your room, you can break your TV, you can do whatever you want.
They later unplugged the camera and decided to completely remove the system. It was discovered that the hacking occurred because the family had reused the same email and password from a site that had experienced a data breach.
The LeMay family installed the camera just days before the device was apparently hacked.
I watched the video, and I mean, like, they could watch them sleeping, they could have watched them changing. I mean, they could have seen all kinds of things.
Tanya was fast asleep in her upstairs home when she was jolted awake by the loud blare of her Ring camera alarm. Concerned about a possible intruder, she anxiously searched her house, paying special attention to the room where the alarm originated. As she moved closer, she heard a voice coming from the camera's location, heightening her worry. When the alarm blared a second time, she finally decided to approach the camera and remove its batteries, dismissing it as a glitch. To verify her suspicions, she reviewed the footage, only to make a chilling discovery. A hacker had accessed the live feed, posing as Ring support, and even demanding a ransom of 50 Bitcoin. In a disturbing turn, the intruder had also breached her doorbell camera, announcing their presence right outside her front door.
This is Ring support. Your account has been terminated by a hacker. Pay this 50 Bitcoin ransom or else you will get terminated yourself right now.
How long Tanya had been under surveillance remained unknown. She quickly contacted the police, but they faced limitations in providing assistance. In November 2020, the police in Decatur received an unexpected call from an anonymous person reporting a shooting incident within a woman's residence. 10 officers were immediately dispatched to the scene. The homeowners were completely taken aback by this turn of events and insisted to the police that they must have been given the wrong address.
What they didn't know is that the person who made the call was watching their every move.
Yeah, I'm right in the camera. Look in the camera, yes.
The Ring doorbell camera had been hacked and the family had been swatted.
To confirm, they requested the officers to contact dispatch, which indeed verified the address. To dispel any suspicions, the homeowners allowed the officers to search the house, but nothing suspicious was found. As the officers were preparing to leave, it was discovered that the homeowner's doorbell camera had been hacked and they had fallen victim to a swatting incident. Swatting is a criminal act where someone deceives emergency services into believing there is a serious threat at a specific address.
The fact that somebody would be childish enough to do something that could have taken somebody else's life.
Crying wolf and sending police to a person's home is known as swatting. In 2017, an unarmed Kansas man was shot and killed by police due to swatting. During the cab incident, the creepy hacker racially abuses the family and boasts of his efforts.
The hacker obtained the homeowner's address through their IP address and falsely reported a shooting, perhaps as a way to emphasize the importance of using different passwords. Swatting is a serious offense and, although rare, can have fatal consequences. Unfortunately, the hacker responsible for this breach was never identified.
And change all your stop using the same password for everything you need.
That's sick.
We are sick. Yeah, we are disgusting. You know, this is the 15th one today. We do this all over the United States.
The family shudders to think how far this sicko will go.
There's no telling if somebody else lost their life by this guy. And I mean, it's kind of gross, honestly.
In Georgia, a couple set up a home security camera in their bedroom to monitor their dog while they were away. One night, after the woman had put the dog in his crate, she heard a cough coming from the camera speaker.
It says the only reason they bought one of these Ring security cameras 3 weeks ago was to keep an eye on the dog.
Wake up!
But on Monday night, while the girlfriend was sleeping in bed, she heard a strange voice coming from the bedroom camera.
I can see you in the bed. Come on, wake the f up.
What you're hearing is the voice of someone who had hacked into their device.
Startled, she turned her attention to the camera and noticed the blue light indicating someone was watching the live feed. Concerned, she reached out to her boyfriend, who was at work, and asked if he was watching the feed. To her surprise, moments later, she received a text from him, asking what she was talking about.
Of someone who had hacked into their device and may have used a stolen password, a digital prowler she recorded with her cell phone.
I see the blue light come on, and so I'm texting my boyfriend saying, you know, why are you watching? He's like, what are you talking about?
The couple doesn't want to be identified and spoke with our partner, WSB TV in Atlanta.
Ring should have the safety precaution.
This video captures footage from a home security camera in a family's living room. Initially, everything seems ordinary. Then, unexpectedly, the person in the video hears the 80s one-hit wonder, "Somebody's Watching Me," playing faintly in the background. The music isn't coming from the television, and his wife confirms she isn't responsible. After a brief search, they realize the song is playing directly from the camera, exposing that someone had hacked into the live stream and taken control of the audio to play the eerie song. Incidents like this are made possible by various methods. In some cases, online applications provide easy access to camera feeds if credentials are obtained, and some applications contain vulnerabilities that can be exploited to bypass security. Other hacking methods include phishing and social engineering, allowing unauthorized access to security systems. This video highlights one of many cases, as similar breaches have occurred with other home security cameras. In Kansas, the Norris family went about their day, unaware of the unsettling presence watching from their baby camera. The intruder had somehow tapped into the live feed, observing every movement in their living room. In a chilling turn, a voice filled the quiet room, commenting on their activities with unsettling, almost playful remarks, as though mocking the family's sense of safety. The family stood frozen, gripped by the eerie realization that their private space had been violated. The knowledge that someone had not only watched but left a trace of their presence shattered any feeling of security in their home.
Taking pictures of baby, I'm asleep.
Commenting on their every move.
That tree is looking really, really good, guys. No, put me down. Put me down, I have feelings.
This man was standing outside his son's door one Sunday when he heard the voice. Rushing in, he found the sound was coming from the baby monitor. Later, downstairs, he heard the voice again, this time laced with obscenities and even racial slurs, asking him why he was looking back. The shock was intense, but once he composed himself, he recorded the unsettling interaction. He soon realized the hacker had turned their thermostat to 90 degrees, a potentially dangerous situation for the baby.
A deep, manly voice talking to my 7-month-old son. My blood ran cold.
Arjun Sood was standing outside his son Oliver's door Sunday when he heard that voice. He burst in, the voice stopped. He and his wife chalked it up to baby monitor interference. But once downstairs,
and I was standing right about here,
they heard the voice again.
Who is this?
An unseen intruder talking to them through their Nest security camera, using obscenities, including the N-word.
Asking me, why I'm looking at him because he saw obviously that I was looking back, and continuing to taunt me.
It was terrifying.
Sood says once his shock subsided, he composed himself enough to record part of the ominous exchange.
What's that?
Sood believes the hacker also turned their upstairs thermostat to 90 degrees, noticing that the same night. A potential danger to their baby.
And then they mess with our thermostat? Why? Who does that? Again, who does that?
They immediately unplugged their cameras, called the police, and contacted Nest. The company advised them to use unique authentication, suggesting that might have prevented the hack. The family had invested thousands into Nest for home security, installing multiple cameras outside and inside. When they called Nest for answers, they were frustrated to learn there was no way to determine how long they had been watched. Nest couldn't provide the logs.
How long has this been going on for? How long has someone kind of been watching us? We don't know. We can't tell you. We don't have the logs.
Extremely disturbing, he says, considering there are cameras all over their home, with no indication someone outside might be watching, except on 2 cameras, where a blue light clicks on when someone talks.
Until they actually communicate with you, they could be in here watching, as we are doing right now, and there is no difference.
The couple was disturbed by the realization that the intruder could have been watching them without any sign except the occasional blue light that flickers when someone interacts with the camera. Until the intruder chose to make contact, they had no way of knowing they were being observed.
Sood says his trust in Nest is shattered. He wants to return the system. Nest refused.
What I'm truly upset about, other than the obvious, is that it seems like the executive leadership at Nest fell asleep at the wheel.
This experience left Justin Estes shattered, and he wanted to return the system, but Nest refused. His frustration was compounded by learning that 2-factor authentication had been available, though they had never been informed about it.
Obvious is that it seems like the executive leadership at Nest fell asleep at the wheel.
Sood and his wife Jessica say they were unaware double-factor authentication was even available, having never received any information. We reached out to Nest tonight, but have not received a response. In the newsroom, Dana Kozlov, CBS 2 News. Erica?
Wow, understandably terrifying.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dana.
These 2 guys were apprehended for hacking cameras. Their story is one that would anger people who use doorbell cameras to monitor their homes. What these guys do is to hack into the doorbell camera, but not just that, they'll stream whatever they find live for the public to see. When they hack into the cameras, they swat them, causing unnecessary problems. The suspects, as it now, have done this to 11 families in 9 different states. This nightmare neighbor was caught trying to sabotage man's doorbell camera after claiming it overlooks his home in a furious row. But the doorbell has triggered a ding-dong. The neighbor who claims it overlooks his home and has now launched a campaign against the camera. And in one bizarre clip, he is nearly flattened by the door after allegedly removing the hinges. He has tried to damage the bell at least 3 times, but his only success is being picked up in crystal clear definition. And his antics led to him being hauled to court and pleading guilty to criminal damage when CCTV showed him snipping its wires with pliers. On another occasion, he was seen taking a hammer to another camera at the home, and last month was filmed appearing to deface the Ring's lens with a marker pen. This Connecticut man had his family holiday ruined by a hacker who gained access to their Ring camera. His mother-in-law told him she heard a voice calling out to her, and when she moved to go to the living room, they hacked the camera there too. The man contacted Ring for a refund, seeing that the camera was of no help to him.
For him and his family, they should be getting excited to be home for the holidays, but the comfort of their home has been violated.
Like, I feel violated. Somebody was looking at my home, looking at my family, watching us.
The voices started yelling in the basement.
Are you calling 911?
But when the mother-in-law
Come
left to go upstairs,
Come here.
they hacked the living room camera too.
Hey, come here.
He tried calling Ring to complain and get a refund.
Their response was, well, if it's outside 30 days, we're not gonna give you your money back.
I can't hear you. Who are you calling?
Ring tried resetting his passwords. For him, it just wasn't enough.
My answer is no, I don't feel safe, so I don't want it. If they hacked it once, they can hack it again.
This baby is well protected by his parents and constantly in his father's arms. The network of Nest cameras in the house adds to that protection.
Topper Rigney gets all the love and care you would expect for a 4-month-old, and then some. Constantly in the arms or within eyesight of his parents Ellen and Nathan.
But having surveillance cameras strategically placed around the house and the baby's crib became a nightmare for the couple. The mother explained that one night, as the child slept, they heard a voice coming from one of the cameras. The attacker proceeded to use sexual slurs and then threatened to kidnap the baby.
The Nest Cam pulled up on the iPad over there, and then the little audio monitor right next to it so that I could see him from every angle.
Above Topper's crib are 2 cameras with audio, and the only voice they ever transmit is his, until late last night.
And I said, hey, what is this? What's going on? We hear it again, and 2 beeping is what the noise it makes, and then we heard sexual expletives being said in his room. So we throw on the light in our room. He turned that camera on and told us, said, turn off the light.
One can only imagine the speed at which the father ran upstairs and the panic they must have felt. Luckily, they found their boy safe, but they wisely decided to discontinue their use of the camera.
I kept telling him, I was like, he's not in here, somebody's hacking this.
They shut it down fast and called police, terrified, relieved, and determined to warn anyone who would listen. Posting the story online. Wow, turning my kids' cameras off now, one mom responded.
Should we continue using cameras or not? It's hard to say. Just take a look at these 2 guys. They, Rye, successfully hacked into the camera systems of a college. Although they don't seem suspicious, the matter raises immediate concern. What if the hacking was done by people with malicious interest? For the Killeen family, a Ring security camera meant to add protection became a chilling nightmare. Positioned in their 5-year-old son's bedroom, the camera was hacked one night, and a stranger's voice began speaking to the boy. The McLeod family's experience highlights the vulnerability of smart home devices and serves as a stark warning to other parents.
And now the 5-year-old can't even sleep in his own room. That's why the McLeod family is using their story to help out others.
He stood back from the bed. He was scared. You could see the fear in his eyes.
In the middle of the night, a random voice whispered through a Ring camera.
Late at night, a whisper came through the camera, startling the boy awake. Terrified, he shouted out for his dad. His mother thought her husband might be speaking to him through the camera, but he was asleep. She then checked the system, which had notified her of motion, and saw her son staring at the camera, seemingly trying to communicate back. The fear was compounded when, minutes later, the video vanished, as if the incident had never happened. Luckily, Mrs. McLeod had saved the recording.
In the middle of the night, a random voice whispered through a Ring camera that sits in this 5-year-old boy's room.
He started screaming, "Daddy, Daddy." And I rolled over, I looked at my husband and I asked him, "Hey, you know, are you on the camera?" Like, talking to him, and he was like, "No, I was asleep. Why?"
Audrey McLeod was thankfully awake, but she only knew something was going on because the system notified her there was motion.
When I logged in, he was sitting facing the camera as if he was communicating back with the camera.
The McLeods immediately filed a police report, especially concerned when informed that hackers could be physically close by. The family has since shared their story to raise awareness, encouraging other parents to listen if their child reports hearing voices through a camera.
McLeod says she filed a report with the police department.
They did state that sometimes people that hack into your Wi-Fi are near you. So that's the scary part as well, is knowing that this person is likely close to us.
First-time mom, Jamie Summit, noticed something unusual with her baby monitor last week. She and her family were in the middle of dinner when the monitor, without prompting, began to move, scanning across their room. It paused momentarily over their bed, then turned back to focus on her son, who lay sleeping in his bassinet. Alarmed, Jamie immediately disconnected the device, uninstalled the app from her phone, and reached out to local police, although she ultimately chose not to file a report. The family then shut their bedroom door, taking a moment to absorb the unsettling experience.
We were eating and noticed that the monitor started moving and panned over to our bed and paused for a few seconds and then panned back over to our son, who was sleeping in his bassinet right next to our bed. We shut our bedroom door. We kind of sat for a second and just...
According to security experts, many hackers are less concerned with the cameras themselves and instead seek network access to steal sensitive information. Jamie's experience is not isolated, as other parents have faced similar intrusions into their private spaces.
And it was screaming at my daughter, screaming, "Wake up, baby, wake up, baby."
The camera then turned and looked at me, and it started screaming some obscenities at me.
A nanny in Houston, Ashley Stanley, was caring for 1-year-old Samantha when she heard a strange man's voice coming from the baby monitor camera in the child's bedroom. Initially, she thought it might be a prank by the baby's parents. However, she quickly realized a stranger had hacked into the family's Wi-Fi network, gaining access to the camera. Disturbed by the thought of someone watching intimate family moments, like the baby's mother breastfeeding, Ashley immediately unplugged the device.
And I heard someone talking on the camera monitor, and I was like, maybe my bosses are maybe playing a trick on me or something. What I'm afraid of is who's been watching quietly while, her mom's in here breastfeeding her.
The baby monitor, made by Webcam, has a history of security issues. The company has previously dealt with hackers taking over monitors and shouting through speakers at babies. Webcam issued software updates to address these vulnerabilities, but not all customers installed them.
The baby monitor in this case was made by a company called Webcam. They have had problems with hackers before, including at least 2 other cases where someone took over the monitors and started shouting through the speaker at babies. The risk of hacking and spying is not limited to one brand, though.
This sequence describes a harrowing moment for a couple who installed a Nest home security camera system. Abby, alone at home with their 2 children, experiences something chilling. While Ronaldo typically stays home, it was on the one day Abby was alone that she heard voices coming from the Nest device, which escalated quickly into racial slurs and abusive language. Horrified and unsure of what to do, Abby realizes someone has hacked into their security system and is watching them in real time.
But my arm is facing the Nest, but my head is on the other side of the wall because I was like, I don't want them looking at me.
Stop recording the camera. What the are you thinking?
And in the video, you can hear it, them saying, what the F are you doing? Why are you recording us? And I'm like, these guys can see me.
Can I ask you a question? How do you like your dog? Do you like it fried or deep pan fried?
They said, do you like your dog fried or deep pan fried?
The terrifying encounter makes her feel vulnerable as the hacker continues to speak through the Nest camera. When she calls her husband, he urges her to record the incident. But Abby, understandably frightened, feels too uneasy to approach the camera directly. After summoning the courage, she uses a chair to cautiously position herself to capture the Nest camera, ensuring her body is angled away so the hacker can't see her face. This unsettling invasion of privacy demonstrates the disturbing potential of technology misuse, turning a home security device into a source of terror for the family.
They reached out to police and Auburn detectives are now investigating.
The officer said, you know, this is another form of burglary. They invaded your home, they're watching your kids, they're watching you. Because they were making racial remarks, that turns it into a felony now, and I didn't know that.
Because when I called Nest yesterday, it took an hour to get a hold of someone, right? What if something was going on and, you guys are the security company?
This next clip takes us to a jail control room. The video shows a man sitting behind a number of computers with more monitoring screens in front. Then, one of the computers started misbehaving. You could see the man sitting with his hands to himself, but who was operating the computer then? One of the large screens started blinking an orange light, and the man stood, confused. As he made to sit, the other screens followed suit, blinking red. The system has obviously been hacked. The man therefore called others to help out. Whoever was behind the camera then panned it into the jail compound. There, a man suddenly dropped to the ground, and efforts to bring him back to his feet failed, and so he was dragged like a sack of rice into the police station. One quiet night, Adam and Sarah Lazo were lying in bed when an unsettling sound drifted in from their living room. A man's voice calling out, "Hello, hello, hello." At first, they thought it was tech support mistakenly accessing their Ring security camera, But within moments, the reality hit harder. This wasn't a harmless glitch. It was a stranger speaking directly to them, as if he were standing right in their home.
Hello, hello, hello.
But that wasn't it. It became really clear very quick that there was somebody who shouldn't be there on our camera trying to speak to us.
In a surge of panic, Adam rushed to disable the camera, but the voice persisted, demanding he stop. The invader was no longer just a faceless figure behind a screen. He was a direct threat to their privacy, in the place they felt safest.
Somebody was talking on the living room camera? Wait, what?
At that point, as I went to disconnect the camera, you could hear him go,
Hey, stop, let's talk. No, stop, let's talk, okay?
Following the incident, Ring issued a statement confirming that the breach wasn't due to a flaw in their system. Instead, Adam and Sarah's login credentials had been leaked on the dark web, allowing hackers to access their account. Cybersecurity expert Shannon Wilkinson elaborated, explaining how cybercriminals exploit compromised data using automated tools that swiftly infiltrate accounts once they have the right login information.
Cybercriminals have created some automated tools to go through the username and passwords that have been compromised from other data breaches. And through those automated tools, they've just been cycling through to see which ones they can get into.
Annoying as it may be to hack into another person's webcam, some of them are actually satisfying to watch. This guy is a scammer, and he didn't expect what happened next, even though he didn't seem surprised.
I set up a virtual machine with the scammer's webcam showing his full face as the desktop background picture.
The supposed victim was actually a hacker who gained access to the scammer's server and showed him his own face, letting him know that his deals are not secret. The scammer appeared cool at first and answered questions after blocking the camera, but he ultimately shut down his PC not long after.
Desktop background picture.
Thanks for calling us. This is Sean. How may I help you today?
Alright, so as you can see, I know who you are and what you do. Are you gonna answer some questions for me, or are you gonna hang me up and ban me?
I'm not gonna hang up on you.
Yeah, put your hand in front of the cameraman. I will contact all your friends, all your family, and tell them about your scams if you don't answer my questions. You better talk to me. Alright, so tell me, how does your scam work?
It's not working very well.
We are not able to take your call right now.
Okay then.
Here's another scammer who almost met his doom when he interacted with a hacker. He was, of course, trying to steal from the hacker, but he got the shock of his life when Webcam was hacked and he was shown his own face. He didn't even wait another second as he immediately went off the internet.
This scammer got his face cam hacked while trying to steal thousands of dollars. He got so scared that he shut off his internet.
This scammer was close to hitting the jackpot, or so he thought. He was asking his victim if he saw the information on the screen when his own face appeared on his screen. The disbelief and frustration was obvious, as he immediately moved out of range. Just like the previous guy, he didn't answer any questions.
You can see on the task manager.
Ultra Viewer, Windows Explorer.
Okay, and any other thing? Do you see any Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome over there?
Yes, I can see all my programs. Hey AJ, what's up, man? Hey, listen, are you gonna answer some questions for me, bro? Come on. As you can see, I know who you are, man. I know everything.
This has got to be one of the most carefree scammers in the world. His webcam was hacked and he was shown his own face, but his reply was, "I don't care." Even when the hacker threatened him, he maintained a surprising calmness and simply said, "All right."
Can you see the permissions at the left-hand side?
All right, Mr. As you can see, I know exactly who you are and what you do. So,
I don't care.
Amit, just listen to me, man. I have a few questions for you. You want to answer those
Sure.
questions? All right, so I'm gonna start off easy. You're a scammer, correct?
We do.
Yeah, okay. So how long have you been doing this?
I'm sorry?
How long have you been doing this, the scamming?
2 months.
Amit, you have been scamming since 2017. You don't have to lie
Sorry?
to me. I have all the answers to my own questions. You don't have to lie to me, Amit. I know all the answers to all my own questions, okay?
Who are you?
I know exactly who you are. I know what you do. I know where you live. I know who your family is. I know your phone.
Skeptics might brush off strange lights or sounds as technical glitches, but a Houston couple faced a chilling reality that shattered their sense of security. For weeks, they had noticed odd noises and unexplained disturbances around their toddler's room, but they dismissed them as inconsequential. That changed one night when they heard a man's voice clearly coming from the baby monitor. Horrified, they discovered that an intruder had hacked into the device, using it to watch and speak to their child.
Sound asleep about midnight. All of a sudden I heard, it sounded like a man's voice, but you know, I was so asleep I wasn't sure. About the time I saw it moving, I also heard a voice again start screaming at my daughter. He was screaming, "Wake up, baby," and then just a long, screaming at her, I guess trying to wake.
The horror was compounded by the fact that their toddler, who was deaf, couldn't hear the voice or understand the threat. This disturbing breach not only exposed their child to a disturbing presence, but also highlighted a critical issue: the need for robust security measures for all internet-connected devices.
I guess trying to wake her up.
And then it screamed at me.
What did it say?
Just some bad things. Yeah, some obscenities. Yeah. So I went and unplugged the camera.
I was just absolutely shocked to see that somebody could get into my house that easily.
Tech experts have long warned that internet-connected devices in your home, including security and monitoring systems, could be vulnerable to hacks.
Who is this?
You can never met me. I'm a security researcher from Canada.
A Phoenix man named Andy Gregg explained that his Nest security camera was hacked by a person identifying himself as a white hat hacker from Canada. But all the hacker said was that he wanted to warn the man about his system's vulnerabilities. He explained to Gregg that if he wasn't careful, any dedicated hacker could do him harm.
In Canada.
No shit. That's crazy.
So we're white hats, and we don't have any malicious intent, but I'm just here to kind of let you know, and so don't use any black hat hackers.
Okay. All right. Well then, yeah, I appreciate it. Where, are you able to see where I live and everything?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where you live right now, but if someone was really that dedicated, I mean, yeah, they could geolocate an IP, they could see when you're not home, and I mean, just be creative, and there's so many malicious things someone could do with this.
Right.
Nest also offers two-factor authentication, so that no one, even if someone does get your password, they can't do what I did right here and log in.
All right. Cool. Well, damn, that's actually insane. All right. Well, yeah, thank you for letting me know, and yeah, appreciate it.
Alright, have a good night, man.
You-
Again, I'm sorry if I freaked you out.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks. Take care.
Never hear or see from me again, so have a good night, and I hope all is well, and I didn't cause too much of a pain in the butt.
No, honestly, I appreciate you doing it, to be honest with you, so a little bit of a wake-up call for sure.
For Jason Ball, a supposed security measure turned into a privacy invasion. when an unknown individual began shouting at him and his teenage son through their Ring camera inside their Freeland home. Shocked, Ball quickly turned the camera around and heard the stranger say, "Yo, where you at? Meet me in your garage." Alarmed, Ball disconnected his Wi-Fi to shut down the system entirely.
What's going on, buddy? What are you watching?
You can see the sheer shock on Jason Ball's face.
Look at the top of your head, man. What the happened on your hair?
A violation of privacy as an unknown person yelled at him and his teenage son inside their Freeland home on Sunday.
Immediately, I got up and took the camera and turned it around, kind of in disbelief.
That's when he says he heard the noise again.
Yo, where you at? Where you at?
He said, meet me in your garage.
And the chaos continued.
At that time, I just went to where my Wi-Fi router was and disconnected it because I knew it would shut the whole system down.
Ball then called.
Seeking answers, Ball contacted Ring, who explained it was likely a third-party breach where hackers use stolen usernames and passwords to access accounts. Ring confirmed that the incident was not due to a breach in their security systems.
What's going on, buddy? What are you watching? Look at the top of your head, man. What the happened on your hair?
Immediately, I got up and took the camera and turned it around, kind of in disbelief.
Yo, where you at? Where you at?
He said, meet me in your garage. At that time, I just went to where my Wi-Fi router was and disconnected it because I knew it would shut the whole system down.
Ball then called Ring for answers.
They believe it was a third-party breach. The people took the third-party information, the usernames and passwords that they stole, and then tried to access other systems. Well, I deactivated the interior camera and kept the exterior because they can watch the outside all day long if they want to.
While Ball has kept his exterior cameras active, he deactivated the interior one and is considering switching to a hardwired system. However, he noted that even hardwired systems may still be accessible through remote apps on devices, potentially leaving them vulnerable to hacking.
Even then, you're accessing it not necessarily through a DVD or a DVR at home, but from a remote source on your phone or iPad because they have apps. So that leaves you vulnerable to being hacked another way.
This video captures an unsettling conversation between a man and a hacker who brags about all she's seen and how she watches the family all the time. It gets even worse because when the cops pull up, the hacker Dinky says she's not scared and she's seen them billions of times. She even taunts the police officer. People are no longer safe even in their homes.
Spewing racial slurs in front and constant hostile cases in Santa Claus.
Really? That's interesting.
Oh yeah, it's pretty funny. Cops aren't no scared of me. I've seen them billions of times.
So you gonna stick around and say it?
Yeah, I'll stick around. I don't care. They're probably gonna take the camera for evidence, like they did last time. Your neighborhood. Damn, Gerald.
Alright, well, I appreciate
Bro, as the cops, damn girl cop, show me those Gerald.